So then guys, at WWDC 2025, something was missing. What we all thought might be shown to us at last to say it was definitely coming out, and that was the enhanced version of Siri with Apple Intelligence. So that's right, we still do not have that enhanced version of Siri that first got announced over a year ago now at WWDC 2024. What was meant to come out with the likes of iOS 18, iPadOS 18, that version of macOS, you name it, it just never ever came out over the last year. So today I want to talk to you why this is the case and what Apple have recently said about this and when is it most likely it is going to be coming to our devices. We were promised a Siri that was going to be completely integrated into the likes of our actual devices that could obviously, work with Apple Intelligence. One of those features, for example, was the ability that if we ever needed help to navigate around our phones or our iPads, we could just simply pick up the phone or the device and ask it, how do I do something on my phone? Or how do I do this on my iPad? And instead of going off to say, Apple's help pages and giving you guides, it would actually guide you through how to do that, or even take you to the page, say in settings, in how to enable that or disable that. And this was one of the many features that was going to also come along. Something else that we were told about is that we were going to get, say, complete sort of app integration, what was happening on the screen. So for example, there was going to be clever little things that were going to be going on. So for example, if you were going to pick up somebody from the airport and also at the same time you'd been sent that by an email what the time was going to be, and also if you had a dinner reservation, it could work out with, say, Apple Maps exactly how long it would take you to get to the airport and then pick up the person and the directions to get you to your dinner reservation. It was very, very clever what was shown in the demo that we actually got here. And there were loads of other bits and pieces too. Apple said this would integrate to over all of our apps as long as everybody used the API for that inside of the apps, it could just work. And this did look really, really cool. But as you know, and as I know, well, we've had a whole year since this was first advertised to us and nothing has come out. We actually had, the likes of iOS 18 and iPadOS 18 and all the other versions. They all came out in September. Then we had the 0.1 version and the 0.2 version, what gave us Apple Intelligence in the US and then to other countries after that, before the end of 2024. Still nothing. And then as we went over further into 2025, the likes of the iPhone 16e came out. We still had nothing like that. And we got ever closer to WWDC 2025. And when we got to WWDC 2025, we were expecting that they were going to talk about this Apple were. But guess what? We heard absolutely nothing. We actually got a few other different Apple Intelligence sort of features like the translation feature. I think that's probably the biggest one that I saw out there. That was probably the big thing across the board here. What was very, very helpful. One or two other bits and pieces that are using Apple Intelligence across the operating system, but really there was nothing more. What we did get instead was this new kind of skin, I would call it. What's going to be the default one, the liquid glass effect. This is the new shiny glass effect that we now have on our iPhones and on our iPads, and obviously iPad's got multitasking now, so that's definitely something really, really cool to have. But really, that whole Siri part, there was nothing really talked about with Siri altogether. It was all completely cancelled out at WWDC 2025. But then the big question is then what you'll probably want to know is what's happening then with this? What's going to happen with this Siri integration? Well, the good news is that some people who went actually to the WWDC event actually started asking questions. So we actually had some people from Tom's Guide who actually sat down with Apple and asked people like Craig, for example, what was going on. And then also we had people like the Wall Street Journal who also asked exactly what's going on. Where is Siri? What is going on? To put this in summary, what Apple have said is that the Siri, what we wanted, the new version of Siri 2.0, whatever you want to call it, basically they've had problems over the last year with it. They have promised us that everything that was shown at WWDC 2024 was working on the device. It wasn't kind of like a demoware software or software that just made out that it was actually working. It was actually a version of Apple Intelligence with Siri working on their devices there at that event. 100%. They've promised us that is what's been happening. But what they said was is that as much as they were trying to get it already, they said that the more as they unfolded the Siri version, they noticed that with more kind of different versions of personal kind of usage and things like this, that it just wasn't giving them the quality that they wanted, the quality in answers. Now, rightfully so, Wall Street Journal asked and said, well, there's other people out there, you know, the likes of, say, other competitors like Samsung and Google and others. Well, they've got it working. How come you've not got it working then in such a way? And what Apple have responded back to this is that they said they want their Apple Intelligence and Siri to completely be integrated into the phone, not to be asking requests over the internet. Obviously, this is the whole thing that we did get last year, where it was told that we'd get the option that you could ask ChatGPT for your questions, or, you know, use a ticket of theirs. But basically, they're saying that they want Siri to be completely integrated into the phone, to be private. And this is what the problem what they're getting, whereas other competitors out there, whether, you know, they use a mix of internet usage or they make a use of actually on board of the actual device, they're basically saying they want to have everything integrated, built into the actual device, what you're actually using to do those Siri requests. And they said that it's just not ready just yet, and they're still working on it. The question was asked also, when will we be getting, you know, this new Siri? And I will tell you all about when it looks like it's going to be coming out right after I tell you about the giveaway that is happening on this channel for this right here. This here is a MacBook Air Sky Blue 13.6-inch model, and I'm giving this away to one lucky subscriber on this channel at the end of June time, so only a couple of weeks away from now. And the great thing is that you can still enter into this giveaway to get your hands on this MacBook Air, what I'm giving away to a subscriber. All you have to do is just put down into the comments below at this stage of what technology gear you're hoping to get in 2025. Maybe it is going to be a new iPhone, maybe it's going to be a new iPad, maybe it's going to be a new MacBook, maybe it's going to be a new Nintendo Switch 2 or DJI drone or something else. Well, just let me know in the comments below right now. Now, the other part of this giveaway is going to be happening at the end of June time, where I'll be making a video on this channel giving you even more details about it, including a form to fill in and also telling you when I'm going to do the live stream to actually give away this MacBook Air. And the best thing you need to do is make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because you'll want to know when that video is going to happen. Plus, you want to be a subscriber too, because obviously I'm giving this away to a subscriber. The other thing I just want to quickly tell you about this MacBook Air, it's actually been specced up a fair bit too. We've actually got in here, as I like to say, the full fat M4 version inside of it. So this is the 10-core CPU, the 10-core GPU, not the binned out version. It's also got 24 gigabytes of RAM instead of 16, and it's also got 512 gigabytes of storage instead of the standard 256. So it's been specced up a little bit here. So yeah, like I said, this will be going out to one lucky subscriber on this international giveaway. Now, the last thing I just want to quickly say to you guys that sadly there are lots of scammers and spammers out there, people still impersonating me, turning to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Becky C right here. Please do report them. So moving on then from this, when are we likely going to get this new Siri? Well, you know, that question was asked at this actual, you know, sort of meetings that, you know, kind of sort of different press conferences happen. So Wall Street Journal asked the question, and basically they came back, Apple did, and said it's just not ready yet. They said we cannot give you a time frame because obviously we've got to actually get it all working for ourselves. That we've got to be quite happy with how it's looking and how it's going to work first before we announce a date of when we can definitely kind of target to get iron out those last second kinks and things like this. So it does look like that this version of Apple Intelligence with Siri 2.0, if you want to call it, looks like it's gone back to the drawing board and started again from the ground up. So it does mean that this time period of when it's going to come out is completely unknown. Now, I know you're going to say, well, you know, that's a bit unfair on this video. Well, I want to know what the time is. But I think what we've got to look at is the bigger picture here. What is something that's going to be quite scary for Apple is that they could lose track here of what's going on with other competitors. Other competitors are leaping forwards here. You know, we've got the likes of Google. We've got the likes of, say, Samsung. You know, they're all going forwards with their kind of AI abilities right here. And obviously, Apple promised something. They've given us a few kind of AI abilities. What you can find in third-party apps, I would actually say quite a lot of this, like translation, writing tools, things like this, but we all wanted that kind of more sort of integrated, personalized version of Siri on our phone. And I think this is the thing now. Siri has been out for like 14 years or something now. And to be honest, it was great the first year it came out. Everyone loved it. But then we had the likes of Amazon coming along, you know, with the A-lady, as I like to call her, just in case I trigger yours off there. And then Google as well. And then loads of others as well. Bixby and Samsung. They've all gone way ahead here and they're leaping forwards, whereas Siri is still behind. And I think, you know, Apple really needs to get a handle on this. Personally, if it was my opinion, I'd be buying up probably a third-party sort of AI company, bringing them in-house and getting this fixed ASAP for Apple. And that would be my opinion there. That would be a great investment. Whether they're going to continue to do this or not, we'll just have to wait and see. But it does mean, though, sadly for the moment, the date of exactly when we're going to get this new version of Siri, even Apple have admitted, watch this space. We just don't know. Well, though, guys, that is the latest and greatest, though, on that, though. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be worth the wait, or do you think Apple should just get on with it and just release out this new Siri now in the shape it is in already? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.